right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 801 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And Georgia Southern football is rolling. They're doing everything that I thought they would do and then some, like let's say 2 years ago. Nevertheless, they year three of Coach Clay Helton is getting things rolling and they're getting things on the ball. These first three games of nothing but, satisfied me as the way they've played football. The Atlanta Falcons, not so much. I'm still a little disappointed in the game last week. They play tonight. Well, if you're watching this in the morning, they're playing the game tonight, Monday Night Football versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And I have a little bit of reservations in that game. Don't get me wrong. I think the team is talented enough to play up against anybody. But when you look at what happened in game one, we do not need a repeat of that. So we're going to talk about both teams, the direction they're going, and how things should play out for the upcoming week. Give my thoughts and opinions. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I could be found on Spotify and Apple. I'm also on YouTube Podcast, and Rumble. You can follow me on X at the VF Baller. And over there, I talk about things that don't necessarily make it to the channel when it comes to, or make it to the podcast when it comes to these two teams. Also, I talk about my gaming stuff, which is on my gaming channel. And, so I do a little bit of diversity over there. So hopefully you guys will, check out the content, have fun. If you do, like, share, and subscribe, I really would appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get into this. Georgia Southern gets the win, 42-14 over South Carolina State. Commanding victory. I know some people still have some reserves and some issues with how things are done at Georgia Southern. You got to understand it's been 2 years or longer of a bunch of, disappointment. I will say that. This team should have been, we should have won the Cure Bowl back in 2019. I'll just say that. We should have won the last couple of bowls we've been in when it comes to the Camellia Bowl last year. These are the things that we should have been, a part of him winning. What was the other bowl we went to? I think it was the Cure Bowl. I think we went to another bowl, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But we should have won those, But unfortunately, we just wasn't able to get to hold up a title ever since Chad Lunsford was here when we had the RL Carrier Bowl in New Orleans. So with that being said, when you see a little bit of headway going Georgia Southern's way, there's going to be a lot of reservations to how things are going. These last three games, competing with Boise State, one of the top, if not the top G5 team in the country, taking care of business in a hostile environment at Nevada, and then you go and take care of business and absolutely beat up on an FCS team, as you should, in South Carolina State. Even though South Carolina State is not a bad FCS team, we were able to dominate that game fairly from start to finish. I mean, they had their moments, but other than that, we did what we were supposed to do. And it's very hard to complain about how the way things are going. The running game could be better. I will say that, because the running game is basically was Georgia Southern was built off the running game. And unfortunately, this season, I don't think that we're going to be as prominent in the run game. I just don't think so. But when you look at a guy like J.C. French, who can extend plays, have the defense looking for something like the running back to move around, the quarterback to move around, it does open up some things for the running backs. So we may not have like that, let's say 60%, 70% run, that Georgia Southern has been used to since, Chad Lunsford was here. Well, it was probably even more than that, but that's another story for another day. But we're probably going to be more pass heavy, now more than how it's been since Coach Clay Helton's been here. Even when Clay Helton was here, we still had, a little bit of flow of the running game. And it probably will still be there, but I just don't think it's going to be as successful, because I don't think there's anything wrong with the offensive line per se. I just don't think we have a run blocking offensive line. So with that being said, we're still finding ways to get wins. Now we're going to Oxford, Mississippi. We're going to be playing Ole Miss. I'm going to be the first to tell you, I'm not going to sit here and rah-rah with the pom-poms and think that we're absolutely going to go there and win. Do we have a chance? Yeah, if you're on the field, you have a chance to win a game. But you're going up against a top 5 SEC team, which, they have tons of talent. Lane Kiffin and Coach Clay Helton know each other very well. So that's going to be a pretty cool dynamic. But I will say this. if Georgia Southern, just like I said with the Boise State game, if Georgia Southern don't turn the ball over and find ways to put points on the board, this is the way that you're probably going to win this game. It may be another shootout type of situation at best. I don't know the ins and out of Ole Miss offense altogether, but I know they've been putting up points on other teams. I mean, I think they scored like 40 something one game, 50 something another game, and if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, I think they put up 70 in another game. So you're looking at a team that really could just run up the score on anybody. And now we're looking at a team like Georgia Southern who can also run up the score on almost anybody. This could be a game where I feel they're probably going to be, let's say, 45 to 28, or it could be like a 52 to the 28 or something like that. I just think that Ole Miss is just a little bit too overpowered for Georgia Southern. But if you keep it to the way that you're not being ran off the field, where it's to the point where it's like 51-3 or 57-6 or something like that, I find that respectable if they can at least put up 28, 35 points in a loss. And I think this offense has they can do it. I mean, they can spread out. And I don't know the secondary of I don't know how the secondary is of Ole Miss, but I think we can get some guys open, and J.C. French can throw the ball very well. Hopefully he don't turn the ball over, no interceptions, and I think we'll be able to be okay, and okay when it's big brother, little brother, or big tier, small tier standards. Is basically you lose the game maybe by like 14, 17, 21 points, but it looked like you was able to go toe to toe. It's just the talent level was just a little bit widened. And I think we have enough talent to put up points, but I don't think we'll just keep up with them. So at the end of the day, Georgia Southern is rolling. They're looking pretty good. And I can't wait to see how things go when it comes to conference play. After the Ole Miss game, they're coming up to Atlanta to play Georgia State. And I'm definitely trying my best to get to that game because that's going to be a good one. Shout out to Georgia State. I hate to say it, but they did beat Vanderbilt. Pretty good win right there for them. They're going to be there's going to be a tough opponent, but we always play them fairly well, and I think it's going to be a good one, all things being considered. Now, let's get into the next topic here. Talk about these Atlanta Falcons. I'm telling you right now, I don't know what to expect when we're going to be playing the Philadelphia Eagles. A.J. Brown is not going to be playing, but I will say that this defense for the Falcons have not given up a touchdown yet this season. There's only been one game, but we haven't given up a touchdown yet. That's the good part. The bad part about it is the guy that you see on the screen. If you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, even on Spotify video, if you're looking at it, it all goes back to Kirk Cousins. Is he going to be the guy that can move around or whatever, to actually throw the ball like he can plant his foot? Are there any issues injury-wise? A lot of people thinking that he's not 100%. Maybe it's mental. I don't know. But if we can get him to throw the ball around like we've seen him to do with these weapons, we have a really good chance of winning this game. Because I think the defense will keep us in the game, and the offense can run away with the game. Now, I know that the Philadelphia Eagles have a prominent offense as well. They got a pretty good running game and all this and everything, all things considered. I'm not saying that we're going to go up there and just beat them, but it just goes back to the quarterback play. If you can go toe-to-toe with Jalen Hurts, which I think that Kirk Cousins has the talent to do so, it could be a really good game. Going up to Philly is not a easy task. Not an easy task to win a game. So with that being said, do I think the Falcons going to win this game? I think they can win it, but it's all going to be back on the quarterback play. I have faith in the defense that haven't given up a touchdown, gave up a bunch of field goals, and 3 of the field goals, 48 yards or further. If the defense comes up with that type of play, it's going to be very difficult for the Eagles to win because you're going to need touchdowns to win. But at the same time, you don't need touchdowns to win if you're just not going to be able to be producing with the quarterback play. Now, I'm going to say this before I get out of here. A lot of people want to sit here and say, oh, it's not the quarterback, it's a team game. It's not a quarterback, it's a team game. You look around throughout this entire league. You can go back and look into the college rankings. Quarterback play means a lot. I'm just going to give you a few examples. I'm going to give you one. Look at the Falcons since Matt Ryan left up until now. And I will say even up until now, because the first game that we played with Kirk Cousins looked exactly like what Desmond Ridder did. So with that being said, QB play means a lot. It means a whole lot. You go over there, look over there in Athens, which we don't talk about the Georgia Bulldogs that much. When you go look over there, look at Carson Beck against Kentucky. A lot of people was thinking that the QB play was not up to par. QB play means a lot. Look at our Georgia Southern Eagles. You want to put Davis Brin in a situation where we're in right now? I think J.C. French has done a way much better job. And guess what? He hasn't turned the ball over in these last 3 games. Hopefully it stays that way. But QB play means a whole lot. If that's the case, nobody will be talking about any of these QBs in the league or talking about the QBs in the college rankings. It means a lot. Quarterback play has to get better. Quarterback play gets better for the Falcons. We have a chance to beat anybody in the NFL. It is what it is. I don't know how else to even put it. And I know some people are just going to disagree. That's fine. So if that's the case, if you want to disagree, just let me know how you feel if there's another bad performance from, Kirk Cousins. Will you want to blame the offensive coordinator? Fine, that's fair game. I'll give you that. The play calling may not be the best. I'm 100% behind you. So maybe they set him up to fail. But at the end of the day, if you have a good quarterback, I think you can alleviate a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Even with the bad play calling, I think if you have a good quarterback play, that will alleviate a good bit of that. So with that being said, I think the Falcons have a chance to win this game. You play them, you go play the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs have a running back that's going to be out. Pacheco is going to be out as well. I'm not 100% sure. I saw that on the internet. Don't know how much credible that is. But when you do have situations where certain players aren't playing, or you have a situation where you have players that can actually take advantage of playing against certain matchups, you got to take that into consideration. You got to take advantage of that. And I think that if you're not going to have their wide receiver, that's probably 14 points off the board unless somebody else step up. But with the defense and the secondary we have, without A.J. Brown, you have the advantage there. But at the end of the day, even with all the weapons you have on offense, it means nothing if you have a quarterback that can't distribute the ball properly. That's just how it is. You just can't plug and play anybody in a situation with a bunch of weapons when they decide to not throw the ball properly, or they can't throw the ball properly because it's a mental or physical situation that they're going through. And I get it. You messed up your Achilles. You thinking something ain't right. It's all in your mind. It happens. You got to execute. So if they execute, I give them a really good chance of going out to Philly to win because we have the weapons. But like I've been saying for the past 2 or 3 years, Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, Kirk Cousins, all 3 of these guys, until Kirk Cousins showed me otherwise, he's going to be in that same boat with those other 2. And I know, that's one game. You shouldn't do that. Okay, all right, that's fine. But I'm going to take that leak. I'll take those shots today. Because what I seen in this last game, those numbers look exactly like those other 2 quarterbacks. Better quarterback play will give us better results. You get that, you probably get a win. So that's just how I feel. So let me know what y'all think. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Am I tripping on the Kirk Cousins situation? Am I being too hard on him? Should it be more on the play caller? Should it be more on the coaching? Is it because of his Achilles? What do y'all think? I think the rest of the team is fine, but it all goes back to the quarterback. Also, Georgia Southern, what do you think they're going to be doing for the rest of the season? I think they're going to take a hit at Ole Miss, but I think once we get into conference play, I think we're going to get things rolling. I'm very confident on the way this team, the opportunities that this team could make in the Sun Belt. The schedule is fairly favorable for us once we get outside of Ole Miss, because we saw the rest of the Sun Belt play. It's not bad. It's just that with us, like I said, having better quarterback play gives us a better chance. So J.C. French is doing a good job. And long as he is at the helm and he keeps playing the way he's playing, I think we got a chance to make noise. So let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe, Spotify, Apple, Rumble, YouTube podcast. Find me on all of those avenues. Find me on X at VF Baller. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.